Hey guys, today we are going to be making a single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. We're going to make these in little swatches so you can see the difference between each of them. And we're starting with these three because they are the most common found stitches among most patterns. Now, if you saw in the beginning, you saw that I had a SC, HDC, and DC posted on the video. Those are the abbreviations of what they are if you're trying to read a pattern. So I recommend getting used to those. We're gonna start with a chain. And if you are a super beginner, you might not know what that means. So first you're gonna hold your yarn like this, and then you're going to loop it around and pull through. And that is called a slip knot. I'm gonna do it one more time for you. You're gonna hold your yarn, twist it around your finger, make a little hole, and then you're gonna pull through. That way you have this knot that can go on your hook. Next, we're just going to do 15. So first you have to do a chain. What a chain looks like is yarning over your hook and pulling through the loop. Yarning over and pulling through. And we're gonna do that 15 times. Now you guys may make your stuff a little bit different or hold your stuff a little bit different than me, and that is okay. Everybody's way of holding their yarn and their hook can be different. So once you've made 15 of these, that is your base chain. Now we're going to learn how to do a single crochet in each of these stitches. You can see these stitches by how they're little V's. Each little V is a stitch. So as you see, if you're crocheting too tight and can't see this, you may need to up your hook size. I recommended a 4 because with worsted weight yarn, that's the best choice. All right, so you're gonna go into each V. So first, put your hook, which would be called the second chain from hook. So you should have 2 loops. First, you're gonna yarn over and pull through that loop. And then you're gonna yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So you're gonna go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Does that make sense? Gonna go in your hole, yarn over, pull through. You have your 2 on here, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So pause this video here, make your row, and then I'm gonna show you how to go to the next row and turn your work. All right, once you have finished, this is what your first row should look like. So single crochets are one of the smallest stitches you can do. And to go to the next row, what you're going to do is yarn over your hook and pull through, creating another one of those chains that we just practiced there at the beginning. Then you're going to turn your work so that you can go the other direction. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make those single crochets in the top of each one. So I don't know if you can see each stitch. Again, you have your little V's on top. But each stitch to go into is this little hole right here. So you're gonna go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'll show you again. Put your hook through, yarn over, pull through your loop. You're gonna have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. All right, so I'm gonna meet you at the end again. And we're gonna make 5 rows, and this is gonna be a swatch, and we'll put all of them together at the end. Alrighty everyone, I am coming back up on this next row, and I just wanted to show you how to do it one more time before we finish our single crochets. So as you're coming up, you're gonna wanna make sure you go into the last stitch here. So that last one, you see that little V, you're gonna hold it sideways and you're gonna put it right through there. So to make sure you get on all of your stitches. Sometimes that one's easy to forget. So you got your 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and here we go. This is what it should start to look like. These are single crochets. So one more time on how to turn your work, yarn over and make a chain, and then turn your work like this, and work back the other way. I will meet you back here as soon as all of that is complete. Alrighty, so this is what your single crochet swatch can look like when you're done. I have not fastened off yet, that's why my loop is still here, but you can make this as big as you want. I'm just doing 5 rows so that we can keep this video pretty short, and then that way you guys can just see the difference between the 3 stitches. So in a normal project, what you would do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna just cut your yarn. And how you fasten off on yarn is going to be, you're just gonna pull that yarn that you just cut through here, and you're gonna pull tight. Now it is fastened and secured, and you know exactly what a single crochet looks like. So if this is your first time doing it and you made it through this, congratulations, great job. If it doesn't look perfect, that is okay. Like I said, you gotta show up with grace and try again. If you guys have any questions also, always leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I'm super excited for you guys to be a part of the community. At the end, we could also go over how to sew in your ends if that is something you're interested in as well. All right, now on to half double crochet. Okay, we are back. Here is the half double crochet. So do you guys remember how to make your slip stitch? You're gonna put it on, loop it around, and pull it through. If you don't remember, go ahead and rewind the video for that first one and you can rewatch it. We're gonna do 15 again. So yarn over, pull through, and make 15 chains. Alrighty, so here's our 15 chains. It looks the same as last time. And in all patterns, you're gonna see when it says start from second chain from the hook, the one that you have on your hook is counted as number 1. So your second one is gonna be this little guy right here. So for a half double crochet, it's different. We're gonna yarn over before we go through the hook today, or the hole on this one. So then you're gonna yarn over, put through that hole, yarn over again, pull through that hole, and you're gonna have 3 little loops on here. I don't know if you can tell or you can see that, but 3 loops on your hook, and then you're gonna yarn over one more time, and you're gonna pull through all 3 loops. So these are gonna make the stitches a little bit bigger. Again, yarn over, push it through your hole, yarn over, pull back through. You're gonna have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Let's do it one more time, and then I'll let you guys do it on your own. All right, yarn over. My yarn is coming into the middle of the screen here. Pull through, yarn over again, pull through all 3. So if you can see, this one is already just a little bit bigger than a single crochet. I'm gonna pause here and then we'll go to the end and I'll show you how to go to your next one again. All right guys, I'm so silly. I just realized I only crocheted 13, not 15, but instead of taking it apart and redoing it, just know that I'm working with 13, not 15. I'm at the very end of my row, so the same thing you did the single crochets, you're gonna yarn over and chain 1. That way that you can turn your yarn or turn your work, and you're gonna work reverse. So yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull back through, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. All right, so I'll show you what this looks like when we get all of the stitches done, and we'll compare it to our single crochets. Alrighty, so here is the end of our half double crochets. In case you already knew a single crochet and didn't know a half double, I didn't yarn or sew off my yarn yet or cut off my yarn yet because I wanted you to still be able to see it in case you've fast forwarded this video. So your little tail is gonna go through this loop that you took your hook out of, and you're just gonna pull it tight just like that. And like I said before, at the very end of this video, we're gonna do a segment on how to sew these in. So if that's something you're wanting to know, just wait till the end of the video and we'll do that. Next is going to be a double crochet, and that's a little bit different yet and gonna be a little bit bigger. So here you can see the difference in the 2 that we've already completed. You've got your single crochet right here, and then you've got your half double crochet right here. You can see how it did get a little bit bigger, and there's small differences. All right, everybody, so for this last set, this double crochet set, I already went ahead and made the chain being. We went over how to do that in the first 2 single crochet and half double crochets. So what you're going to do is go into the second stitch from the hook, and you're going to yarn over. You're going to go back into that second stitch like we talked about. You're going to yarn over again and pull through. Here's where it's going to be different than a half double crochet. You're going to yarn over, pull through only 2 loops on your hook. So you should be left with 2 more. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through those additional 2 loops, not hoops, my goodness, words. So let's go through that again here. Yarn over, go through your base chain or your base stitch, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, leaving you with 2 loops left, yarn over one last time, here we go, and pull through those final 2 remaining on the chain or on the hook. So we're going to do a few more of those together. I'll do them slow so you can see what they look like. Double crochets are very popular for like blankets and things like that. But a single crochet is what you're going to use the most if you're using like amigurumi, like making stuffed animals. So I'm going to do a time-lapse video here just so you can see what it looks like as I'm working. But hopefully that makes sense. One more time. Yarn over, through the chain, yarn over, pull through the chain, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops. We're going to do a video about tension as well. Beginners typically really struggle with tight tension or too loose of tension. And there's like a perfect medium ground. When I started, mine was way too tight. So we're going to talk about how to do that and make it less tight or more tight depending on the hook you're using and the type of yarn you're using. So pause here, go ahead and make your 5 rows of this, and then we will join back at the end to sew. All right, I know you just watched that time lapse. Here we are again with our finished swatch of double crochets. So I'm gonna cut my yarn here and take out my hook. It depends on how much strength you want, how much yarn you're gonna cut. I sometimes cut really long ones because I'd just rather have too much than not enough and then have to figure it out when I'm sewing in. And I want my stuff to be sewn in well. So here is our 3 swatches, our single crochet, as you can see, very small, and these all have the same amount of rows in them. So as you can see, each stitch gets bigger rows. Now to make this a little more visually pleasing, let me remove this yarn here and my scissors, and you can just see this. Alrighty guys, so I have gone ahead and sewn in these 2 up here for you, and I'm showing you how to sew in based on the double crochet because you can really see these beautiful lines and stitches here. See that line? You should be able to pick them out kind of on your own as well, and that's where you're going to sew into. And I just wanted to show it to you on a double crochet because it's going to be more simple. So to get my stitch down that low, I'm just going to go through this one right underneath of where I sewed when I tied off my yarn. So that way I'm on the same level as all these little stitches right here. So how I do it is I go through underneath. You can see how my needle is underneath each of these stitches. And I go through about 4, maybe even 5. A lot of the projects I make are for little people, little kids, and I don't want my stuff falling apart on them. So you're just gonna nicely pull through all of those and kind of straighten your yarn back out. Make sure that it's not pulled too tight, otherwise it's gonna make your yarn look a little wonky. So if you've done this, you shouldn't even be able to tell that you've gone through here, which is one of the nicest parts about working with double crochets is you can hide these pretty well. So now how to make it secure, I'm gonna skip this stitch right here where I could go under. Do you see that right there? I'm gonna skip it, but then go through it the opposite direction. So we're gonna come back through all of those stitches that we just went ahead and made or went ahead and sewed under the one way, and we're gonna come back through the other way. So we're gonna pull back through those, and then you're gonna be left with this. So you can, maybe if you really knew where someone sewed it in, you'd be able to see it because you're a maybe professional crocheter, but that is where our end is. And then you're just going to cut off right here at the end. Set that aside in a scrap pile. And then here it is. And the reason you know this is secure is your yarn cannot pull two directions at one time. So by skipping that stitch over here and going back through, you have secured the yarn. If I'm working with kids under the age of 5, I go ahead and I go down and I skip down to another one and I do it twice. Better safe than sorry so that your stuff doesn't fall apart. But you can go ahead and do that with this one down here. You're gonna do the exact same thing and you can do it as many times as you want to make it as secure as you want. So I'm gonna pause this and go ahead and do this. If you wanna do it with me, go ahead and then we'll come back and we will compare everything we did today. All right, and here we have it, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We've got our single crochet, which is a lot smaller stitch, our half double crochet, which is a pretty medium stitch, and our double crochet. Again, if I'm working a blanket, these are some of my favorite ones to make. They just look so nice. They actually have some depth to them. Single crochet is what you're gonna make your animals out of. I just think they're so tight and so tiny that they're not my favorite thing to make blankets out of. But if you're doing a temperature blanket ever in your crochet career, highly recommend going with the single crochets because otherwise your blanket's going to be like 8 feet long and super heavy. I did mine with double crochets because I loved them, and after 365 days, it was way too big. But please go ahead, like, subscribe, share, drop a comment with anything that you would like to see in the future. Let me know how you liked this video. This was our first one together, so I'm hoping that if you stuck around, you enjoyed it. But thank you guys so much again for joining me today, and I will see you next time on Harmony Creations.